Yo, what it do? What it do? Yeah, what it do? Y'all fall in. Y'all come on in. Foundational white Americans are looking for civil rights. They're looking to protest without having the dogs, the German shepherds, the water hoses, and the violence pointed towards them. Say her name. Renee, Nicole. Now, these liberal white people do not care about foundational black Americans. They really care about themselves. What happens when a Karen is seen as a race traitor? What happens when Becky builds back better black neighborhoods, Somalian neighborhoods, and risk her life to support them? I don't support the liberal Becky, but the liberal Becky is asking for foundational white American rights. She's asking for her civil rights. The foundational white American Becky has fought in the civil rights and has fought in intersectionality for her independence through intersectionality and attacking the white man in the establishment, aka Orange Man Donald Trump. Yeah, the civil rights Becky no longer can stand on her intersectionality. That's what we saw with Renee Nicole. Say her name. Renee Nicole. Renee Nicole is the new George. She's the new Trayvon Martin. She's the new Michael Brown. She's the new George George Floyd. She's the new George Floyd. The the foundational white American Becky that loves to mud shark, as they call it, mud shark. The foundational white American Becky that likes to take brown and black dick no longer has immunity. Hey, Rosa Parks, right? Let's talk about it, right? The foundational white American woman no longer has immunity from taking Tyrone, Jesus, and Somalian, Nigerian black dick. Pause. Pause, nigga. Pause. The white woman, the Nicole, Renee Nicole from Minnesota, the she's not even a nigga lover. See, a nigga lover would refer to a civil rights 1950s, 1960s foundational white American woman. No, 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 no. Renee Nicole is a modern day white woman fighting for immigration. She's not fighting over foundational black American dick. Nicole, Renee Nicole is fighting over foreign black dick. We're not going to have it. Pause. Get her out of here. The white men are not supporting her, and the foundational black American men are looking at her strange. We're looking at her strange. You out here um fighting with the police for 6 hours straight, right? 6 hours straight. 6 hours straight. 6 hours you are sitting here making fun of the police. And I'm gonna drop this link, right? I'm gonna drop this link because I want people to I want people to feel free to come up here and disagree with me, right? But the foundational white American, the foundational white American woman is asking for more suffragette civil rights. She's out here asking the white man to supplement her taking Somalian dick. Pause. 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 Now this is different than white. Then this is different than foundational white American women trying to sleep with foundational black American men. These foundational white American Beckys, the Beckys that supposed to build better, are destroying the country by sleeping and spreading their legs to foreign men. Now, the manosphere, we went after the black women for being race traitors and being treasonous with the pussy. The foundational white American woman has been treasonous with her pussy. She has been sleeping with Somalians and frauding the United States of America through Medicare and child care. She has been having un-American children because look, if these Beckys that build better had children with ADOS, American descendants of slaves, they would still be having 1776 13 colony babies. But these Beckys done went out here and got pregnant and been sleeping with the enemy of the United States. These Beckys have been against DHS. These Beckys have been against, they have been against DHS. These Beckys have been trying to be pretty women, subjugating. I don't even care if I mess that word up. These Beckys have been opening or subject, subjugating or making the subject everything except America first. These Beckys have sold out the country just like their grandfathers did. These Beckys are pretty women. She thought she was a pretty Becky driving a soccer mom vehicle and she could impede in ICE intervention against immigration. So long. These damn Beckys, these so-called pretty women, these so-called diaspora of white women have sold out the country to foreign debt. Now, when these Beckys were nigger lovers, sleeping with black men, at least they were sleeping with foundational black American men. When these Beckys was crossing over the train tracks, at least they were sleeping with 1776 ADOS, at one point called African American, now known as foundational black American men. We might not have been white men, but the Becky that's supposed to build back America was at least sleeping with foundational black American men at one point. She has betrayed the country. She is treasonous. And these are the things that the black manosphere says about the black woman. But the real issue is the majority woman. No, 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 no. Let's not talk about the modern woman. Let's not talk about the black woman. Let's talk about the majority woman. It's easy to talk about the minority woman because she's a minority. And her being a minority, the things she does affects her community more. I get it. I understand. But rather than always talk about the minority woman, we got to talk about the majority woman. The majority woman, not the modern woman. Not the minority, not the minority woman, not the majority woman. No, 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 no. Not the minority woman, not the modern woman. We got to talk about the majority woman. The majority woman is with the bullshit. Yeah, feminism took a big L. The majority woman, the Becky that builds better, has signed on with foreign men. The fact that we got Minnesota Becky, Minnesota minority Becky getting shot in the damn face 3 times. Three, that's symbolic, nigga. She got shot in the face 3 times, nigga. Real talk. Let's talk about Christian nationality and the 7 Mountain Mandates. A Becky that's going against the Christian nationality of this country and picking a foreign nigga from Africa that's a Somalian, that's a Muslim. You're going against the tenets of Christian nationalism. This Becky went against Christianity and went with Muslims and against American culture. The, these liberal Beckys turned their back on Christian nationalism and chose to go with Islamic Muslims from Somalia that the nation of Israel just recognized as a free state. The nation of Israel is planning on sending Somalians and Palestinians back to Somalia to make it a free state, which they can pirate off the Red Indian and Somalian pirates and oceans. So the Somalians ain't shit. They just fallen into the Somalians are part of a Zionist approach at immigration. See the original bad immigrants was not the Jews. The original bad immigrants was not the Jews. The Jews are not the bad immigrants. The real bad immigrants is the Catholic Church. The Protestant wars and being against the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is the real synagogue of Satan. It's not the Jews. The real synagogue of Satan and the real destruction of humanity is the Catholic Church and the Pope. And they're using the Jews as a by proxy war. Just like America is using Ukraine and now Venezuela. Ukraine and Venezuela is a by proxy war against Russia. And the damn Catholics are using the Jews as a by proxy war against Christianity, the Protestants. Shout to the AME Zion Church. The Catholics, the Pope, and the Vatican is the true synagogue of Satan. The Jews have been displaced and have been put under scrutiny due to the synagogue of Satan, the Catholics. Catholics is true synagogue of Satan. You know, the Catholics killed Martin Luther King Jr. The Roman Catholics killed Jesus Christ and they killed Martin Luther King Jr. The Catholics killed Jesus Christ and Martin Luther King Jr. And the Catholics probably killed Charlie Kirk too. You know, the Catholics killed Jesus, Martin Luther King, and Charlie Kirk. Nigga, real shit. The Catholics did it. The Catholics killed Jesus, Martin Luther King, and Charlie Kirk. These niggas is horrible, right? And y'all want to keep worrying about the Jews. It's these damn Catholics that killed Jesus, They killed Martin Luther King, and they also killed Charlie Kirk. That's just why Benjamin Netanyahu came out and said, no, Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. Israel actually did not kill Charlie Kirk. It was the Catholics. The Catholics killed Charlie Kirk. Because when you really get into the synagogue of Satan, you get into the Jews. You get you no. I take that back. When you get into the real synagogue of Satan, they want you to think it's the Jews, but it's the Catholics and the Vatican and the Pope. The Pope is not Jesus, right? Real shit. Shout out to the AME Zion Church, the African Methodist Episcopal Church. We are Protestants. We separated from the Roman Catholic Church. We separated from the Protestant Church, which was being held captive by the Roman Catholic Church. And the Protestant Church is being held captive by the Catholic Church. So you hear women say, I should be able to have an abortion. It should be between me and my doctor. Well, the original doctor that got this, so check this, right. There was a late term physician. I'm not gonna give you his name. You can look it up. There was a physician, a pediatric physician that dealt with um late term birthing issues. He was a Catholic. He went and hooked up with the Protestant church. The Protestant church originally did not want to press women on their birthing issues or birthing rights. But once that Catholic physician, pediatric physician, told the Protestant Christians that if the women continue to abort, delete, and kill your children, you will have no Protestant children. And the Protestants realized, okay, we've been putting a war up against the Catholics for years, but the Catholics are also right on this. If we let these Protestant women of the Methodist, Baptist, Episcopal, if we let these women delete or have birthrights, we won't have any Protestant Christian children. So the Protestant and Catholic wars stopped, and the Protestant and the Christians became one again. This is the reason why this is the reason why to this day you have Protestant, Catholic, Christian nationalism. Charlie Kirk was not a Christian. He was a Catholic. Erica Kirk is not a Christian. She's a Catholic. You hear Nick Fuentes and all these people talk about leaving Christianity and becoming Catholics. This was their whole play. Their whole play wasn't about saving children through stopping abortion. It was the perfect maneuver. It was the perfect move to make. Okay. Okay. So these Becky's that's having all these biracial children, it wasn't about her aborting these children. It was about her it was about her turning all these children into Catholics or Catholicism. The seven mountain mandate in Christian nationality is not actually about Christianity. It's actually fundamentally all about Catholicism and Catholics, the real synagogue of Satan. Christian mandate and the seven mountain mandate, right, where you want to take over education, government, religion, family, business, media, and entertainment. It's not about Christianity. It's fundamentally about Catholicism. It's fundamentally about Catholicism, right? There are key in development. There are keys in the development of the Seven Mountain Mandate movement. R.J. Rudani, he's a Calvinist. He's not a Christian. He's a Calvinist. A Calvinist theologian known as the father of Christian Reconstruction, published the Institute of Biblical Laws, focused on applying the Ten Commandments to institutions such as family, education, the marketplace, and other arenas in modern society. Now, I'm reading out of the Seven Mountain Mandate. I'm not going to read much to it, but a little bit to you. A little bit to you. And in 1975, there was a guy called Bill Wright, founder of Campus Crusaders. So before you had TPUSA, you had something called Campus Crusaders that went on to these college universities. And of course, you would think that they would be based in Christianity, but they're actually based in Catholicism. Catholicism and Catholics praises saints. That's the reason why they try to make Charlie Kirk a saint. Obsidian is not a Christian. Obsidian is a Catholic. That's the reason why Obsidian tried to make Kevin Samuels a saint. Yeah. Yeah, so when Obsidian tried to make Kevin Samuel a saint, he did it as a Catholic, not a Christian. But in 1975, you have Bill Wright, founder of Campus Crusaders for Christ, and Lauren Cunningham, founder of Youth with a Mission, met up in Colorado and shared that they've each received a vision regarding seven arenas or spheres, realms of cultural influence. Francis Schaeffer founded El Abria Communities and also associated with 1975 Vision, though he was not present in Colorado. This then moves to 1985. C. Peter Wagner, Fulner Seminary professor and father of the New Apostolic Reformation, publishes Church Growth and the Whole Gospel, a biblical mandate asserted that Christians are the Christianing Society's institution. Moved to 1989. John Dawson, a former staff of Cunningham's Youth with Ministries, published Taking Our Society for God, a guide to spiritual mapping that emphasizes six spheres of influential in cities, media being the seventh. This is not Christianity. All these people really have a background in Catholicism. Lance Wallenew, Enterprise pastor, learns about the seven spears from Cunningham. He introduced to Wagner's network and Apostles 2001 and soon popularized mountains of the prominent metaphor for the seven spheres of society, the seven realms of society that they plan to take over. And that includes education, government, religion, family, business, media, and entertainment. Smooth to 2008. Wagner publishes Dominion Have Kingdom Action Can Change the World. Sounds like Obama, right? Endorsing Cunningham and Wildnew's approach to installing Christian leadership atop of the seven mountains of society. Now, this is where this stuff gets really interesting. It gets interesting in 2012. In 2012, Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point, the summer of his high school graduation, right? Charlie Kirk in 2012 founds Turning Point USA the summer after his school graduation. Following publicity, he began writing for Pierce for Breitbart. We know about Breitbart and PragerU, accusing teachers and textbooks creator of liberal indoctrination while he's pushing the Seven Mountain Mandate indoctrination. In 2009, Rob McCoy, California megachurch pastor and local office holder, introduces Charlie Kirk to Seven Mountain Mandates movement. 2020, Charlie Kirk speaks at conservative political action conference and says Donald Trump, finally, we have a president who understands the seven mountains of cultural influence. 2024, on the eve of Donald Trump's second election, the Atlantic calls Kirk the right new kingmaker. The FWA white woman has turned against the seven mountain mandates. Becky, you used to build better. Now they have historically proven through the seven mountain mandates, through the bell curve, and you and your abortions and the man and the manosphere and the red pill, and the Thomas L. Friedman, the world is flat, prove that you, Becky, does not build better. That's why we have Indian women like Sasha Vance as the second woman of America. That Becky is trying to replace and be better than, but she doesn't have the building and the seven mountain mandate and the Christian, now Christian Catholic, because the Protestants and the Catholics that at once were at war with each other are now in bed with one another. That is one of the biggest things that happened through the because the Protestant church was taken over by a lesbian that married her wife, and a large faction of the Protestant church, because of the Satanism of lesbianism and feminism, decided to turn on on the Protestant church and sign on with the Catholics to stop abortions and lesbians. Beck, you don't build back better no more. This is about to be a real political, religious war.